Terrace, British Columbia. Tonight we are going to continue on with the Operation Starlite. Looks like we have 6 turns left. I believe, if I recall correctly, we are going to be ending the turn. One moment. All right. Good day, Tactician. Good day, Dolce. Thank you for joining. So if I recall correctly, we were in the midst of having a bad day. But before we go into that, I have to let you know that I am using the 1.01 update, and that has a few little features that will be included once we officially release it. So right now I'm just giving it a playtest, a live playtest. Fingers crossed for me. Welcome, John. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Bess. Thank you for coming. And bottom of the 6th is saying, is tonight the stream till you drop? Well, I have a feeling a lot of Marines are going to drop tonight, even though that would be a very unfortunate affair. But welcome. And yeah, so anyways, here, let me show you some of the improvements. Some are quite subtle, but they will help your gaming experience. One thing to note is up here in the unit list, you will see that we have adjusted the numbers so that they are a different font and a little bit bigger. That will help with clarity. Like, I can notice a huge difference myself looking at them. Not only that, when you select them, you will see how the highlighting has changed to help you identify. So let's grab a stack. So here's a stack of unselected units, but I'm gonna select a couple just so you can see the difference on how they're all highlighted now. So you can see there's a significant difference between the unselected and selected ones. Again, something to make life a little bit easier. I kind of like how that looks. That's really informative, I think. Something else that we've added into the game is, I just have to find it, is, where is it? Let's see, is it Alt X? Yes. So, I don't know if you watched the stream that I did on Saturday, but I showed that this hex jump dialog is available in the map editor and the scenario editor, but it's also available in game. So if you get a notification that says something happened at such and such a hex, you can now just type those coordinates in and go directly to that hex. That's very handy. Is there a Braille version? That is what bottom of the 6th is asking. Yes, there is actually. Yeah, but you have to have a special monitor for that, unfortunately. Yeah, so too bad. That's funny. Okay, what else is there? How do I pull up the hex search? Well, I know off the top of my head it's Alt X, and I'm sure there's a map function for that. Let's see. Is there a I don't know if there's a button, but I'm just trying to find where you would actually see that, and I don't recall off the top of my head. But definitely, if you press Alt X, you'll find it. Super handy. Hex outlines, hex corners, display. Alt X. Hex jump. That's what it's called, and it's right here. So if you look under display, you'll see hex jump or Alt X. So let's do that. I don't know where we're going, but let's just do 40-40 and see where we go. Bada boom, right there. That's pretty cool. And if we turn on the coordinates, we'll see that is hex 40-40. Something else that has been improved is when airstrikes come in, they are now centered on the map. That was a little coding thing that needed to be adjusted. For current users, there's a setting under scrolling that sometimes, if you're using the window edge option, when you're in fire mode, the screen decides to jump to the right for some strange reason. Don't know why that is. On some systems it's like that, on other systems it's not. But the simple solution for that is adjusting to screen edge, which is now the default. So if you're a new user and you install the 1.01 update, which should be available either next week or the week after, this will be the default. You won't have to worry about it. But if you're an existing user, I highly recommend using either scroll bar or screen edge. I use screen edge. That's how I've been using this game for years. So that's what I recommend. Bottom of the 6th is saying, I'm still in the middle of reading every page of the manual, so I haven't started playing the game yet. Oh, that's a big manual. You can grab the latest version of the manual on the forum. It is there's a link to the latest to the manual, as well as to a preliminary update for the 1.01 update. It does not include the EXEs. It just has some of the data information that I'll explain here in a minute. So that's a big thing. And the other thing, a default setting. In this particular scenario, there's something called the elevation delta. And basically all that is how much space there is between these hexes. So typically it comes defaulted as 3. But if you're in very, very high mountainous terrain, like the boot camp scenarios, specifically Boot Camp 3, you'll find if you have elevation delta 3 set, which unless you've changed it, it will be the default, you'll find that the action is happening off the top of the map, off the top, because in that particular scenario, the mountains are so high that the center point at 0 is so low. It focuses on the right hex, but it's doing it in the wrong spot. So the quickest and easiest solution is elevation delta 1. So if you're going to have a new game with the 1.01 update, it'll be defaulted to 1. If you're a current user, then you'll want to change that, especially if you're going to be fighting along the DMZ or in the Dacto area, because of the elevation changes. And if you want to still see the combat happening in the map, then that's the recommended change. Again, it's super easy, takes 2 seconds, but that's one of the things one of the defaults that we've changed it from 3 to 1. What else did we change? Oh, something else we've changed is a little handy tool. If you are calling in airstrikes, we've now added a quick reference so you can identify quickly what the aircraft is going to be carrying for armament. So G means guns, R means rockets, B means bombs, which is handy. So as per usual, when air power is 0, this is just your pool of aircraft. So I need to have an air power value higher than 1 in order to use any of these. And right now I don't have that option. So while I have the aircraft, I don't have the air power in order to use them. You're welcome. That is a really good addition for sure. What else did we include? Yeah, that really helps, John. It's a really good, sweet and simple thing. I'm still in the habit of just double-clicking and seeing what everything is, just because that's how we've been doing it for a while. But at a quick glance, that's super handy. Very, very handy. I'm glad that was added. A huge thank you to Berto for that. There was a bug that we did squash that involved helicopters and loading zones. The way that the order of things happened, you were able to use any strength point helicopter to load any strength point unit. So that wasn't quite right. That is now being fixed with the 1.01 update. There was also a bug where there was triggering civilians sometimes when you were occupying the same hex. That's fixed. That will no longer happen. There is a removing of the old sound files that related to some World War II screaming, so that has been eliminated. Sorry, let me adjust that. Sorry about that. That's our team, Chris, talking about sounds, but we'll deal with that later. What else? There was a recon by assault issue. So now you can't do that. What you'll get is a notification that you just don't have enough action points, no matter where you are, and regardless of what is there. So if you don't have enough action points to move into a hex, whether there's someone there or not, all you'll see is a notification that says there's not enough action points. So you don't know if there's someone there or not. What else? There was a handful of airstrike issues that needed to be adjusted. For example, in the multi-strike aircraft, the way that is supposed to work is that you can, if you choose a multi-strike aircraft, you'll be able to select a target and it will come in and it should go back into the pool for another turn. So you could use it twice, essentially. But for whatever reason, it wasn't. It was, once it was done, it was gone. But now that's being corrected, so that's a good thing. And there was a way that if there was an artifacting where if you clicked a hex in using the close air support, it would leave a bomb, even though that a aircraft wasn't available in order to do so. So it'll just sit there throughout the scenario. So that's being fixed. That won't happen again. What else is there? In some cases, the toggle units on and off would break. I don't know why, and I don't know how that fix is implemented, but apparently it is fixed, so that's a good thing too. There was a few unit issues that I had to add, missing units, and there was the M60A3 had the wrong the weapon values to that, so I corrected that. And SA2 is now available for the North Vietnamese and Chinese. For some reason, I completely forgot about them. And what else? What else? And I updated a handful of scripts for the French scenarios to make them a little more intriguing, a little more replayability, so you can play them over and over again. Because hey, they're fun. They're short. They're simple. They're a lot of fun. Now, and I did fix the issue where the AC-130 gunships were triggering direct fire or indirect fire as opposed to direct fire. So now they'll fire directly, so you can fly up with your gunships and cause mayhem directly if you want. What else? I think that's pretty much it. There wasn't a lot to fix, but there are a few bugs that needed to be adjusted. So yeah, back to the scenario. Let's do an overview. What's going on? So we have our destroyers out here. Looks like they've been set because I have the action points reduced already. They are providing probably fire for Van Tung here, which we are going to hopefully assault next turn. We have our forces all around. Everyone's in decent. Oh yeah, we lost some tanks already. I forgot about that. Oh man. That's right, we lost our flame tanks, and we lost 2 M48s. No. Yeah, we lost 1 flame tank, and we lost all of our Pattons. That's what it was. That's what I recall now. Oh man, that's terrible. That's terrible. But yeah, hopefully that will fall next turn. These here, we successfully conquered Van Tung 1, so we'll split up this company and go chasing after these points up here. We do have this Fulong 2. I think what we're going to do is we're going to load up some of these machine guns and see if we can use the roads to capture that with these armored personnel carriers. I don't know if I'll have enough time to do it because we're down to the last 6 turns. Well, it'll be 5 turns after I end this because we're pretty much done. So it'll be close to see if we can get all the way up there. But we're going to try anyways. Let's send we have a full company here that's ready to join in the foray. So that's awesome. That's wonderful. We'll just start sending them down the road. If you recall correctly from the last session last week, there is a sniper here. I am not going to go after that because this is all patties. This will be a pain in the bottom. We're going to take way too many losses. We'll just rush down the road and go after the objectives. We're not going to worry about this, I don't think. Is everyone in agreement with that? I think that's a logical conclusion to do. Yes, John, tanks do cost money for sure. Did Berto secretly install a redo button? Yeah, no, he didn't, unfortunately. So I'm sucking it up. Would I play this differently next time? Yes, I absolutely would. I would be significantly more cautious than I was. The Americans, they have a lot of firepower in this, which is awesome. They have the artillery, they have the gunships, they have the destroyer support. But boots on the ground, in this terrain, you're going to take casualties. But I would try different tactics to minimize those casualties, if that was at all possible. Like, look at this. I'm attacking up a hill in rice paddies. I'm in terrible terrain. They're probably dug into a trench or a bunker or something like that. Well, probably trenches based on the trenches that we've already been through. There's tunnels up here. It's just a disaster. But we're doing what we can to get into there. It'll be messy. Will I take casualties up here? Definitely. That's why I smoked them out. Unfortunately, that was my last smoke. So for the next 5 turns, it's going to be a bloody affair. Damn it. That's not good. Thanks for the support, Ron. I appreciate that. We're thinking positive. We're thinking positive. Okay, so since it's the last turns, we're going to stop this guy from digging in. He no longer needs to dig in. If you recall, we had a VC company probing in the back here, but our machine guns, our collection of machine guns, even though they took severe casualties, they did take out that company. So our rear is pretty well secure. You'll still see the civilians meandering around because, hey, nothing like a walk in the park during a combat zone. And, so we're going to load these guys up and let's get on the road. Notice how we enter the same hex as a civilian. Good thing we didn't shoot it. And now we're just going to start. We're going to load up these. Oh, I can't do that. What? Is there another landing zone up there? There's landing zone red. But that's still 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 turns to get up there. Plus loading and unloading, so that's kind of pointless. We won't bother with that. We will take our Marines, though, and start double timing them. So we're going to press this button. Now, depending on the quality of the troops, sometimes when you press this button, it will fatigue, but other times it won't. Alright, so we'll do the same with this Marine platoon. You can tell this is the first platoon because this has the radio in it. That is the platoon that we're concerned about for having the supplies properly. Let's bring these 2 guys and get them on the road. The Howtar, we can plot where that sniper is, even though if it's in a bunker, we're not going to do anything, but maybe suppress it, maybe disrupt it, maybe get really lucky and cause a retreat. Highly unlikely. I'll move those guys These guys are fine. There's probably still a sniper somewhere down in this area here where my mouse is, but I don't know if I see it. Radio icon is it's the first platoon. It's the headquarters of the company. So why is that significant? So this company is in control. I'm just going to highlight the unit of everything that is yellow. You can tell that it's selected because it's orange. So the units that are selected are orange in this particular highlight shade. So if I select both of these units, they will change to orange. I'll just zoom in so you can see that better. So both selected, both orange. One selected, the orange one is selected. If I change the color, which you can do, if you don't like yellow and orange, you can change that to whatever you want. Do you want it to be green? There you go. Now they're all green, but the selected ones will be blue. Or you can change that to green. Or no, it is green, sorry. You can change that to blue. Really dark blue. That's, for me, that's really hard to see, but the selected units are now purple. I'm going to go back to the yellow because that's easier to see significantly. Animation, highlight colors, yellow. Yeah, there we go. So that brights out. Anyways, the whole point of that is that for the command range, the first platoon provides supply to your company. So what does that mean? That means companies or units that are within the same hex have a 100% chance of being, removed from conserving ammo status. But if you go out to here, these platoons that are part of the same company, on their conservation of ammo check, if they are out, they will have a 50% chance of being resupplied and being out of conserving ammo. Obviously, this goes down the further away that you are. It never goes to zero, I don't think. It just goes down to minuscule numbers where, you have like an 8% chance or 1% chance eventually. On a map big enough, you'll have a 1% chance. Always a chance, just very, very minor. So, if you're setting up your supply, you want to be setting up your supply system where, your numbers are overlapping. Your battalion HQ, which mine is far, far away. I didn't do this, right, in that sense. If I select this regiment HQ, you'll see the range, the 50% range, is significantly bigger, right, compared to that company. But the values stay the same. So you'll see that up to the maximum range is still 50. So it'll go, the way that it works, it goes up the chain. So it'll check against the company HQ. If that's gone, it'll check against the battalion HQ. If that's gone, it'll check up against the regiment HQ. If that's gone, it'll check up against the base ammo level. And right now, because this operation has been going on for quite a while, our ammo's dwindling. And we won't be getting any more. So by the time this scenario is done, I should be at like 42 ammo level, something like that. Because it's a headquarters, it doesn't need it. It's identified by by the label. It is the headquarters. John is asking, are Army HQs still unlimited in supply range? As far as I know, yeah, they are. Core levels are not. I believe it's 100 X's off the top of my head. Somewhere in there is the 50% mark. So again, you're never going to run out of ammo with an HQ on there. Will it resupply? That's the issue. Is, if you go into conserving ammo status, yeah, for sure. Okay, so that was a little lesson and overview on supply and how it works. I guess I could do a better job on that in the future. That's a good video in itself, actually, come to think of it. Okay, so what are we doing? Let's move our machine gun down. There's that sniper. Fire truck. At least he retreated into the village. Yes! That's a bonus. Let's move down the beach instead. Try and keep out of the sniper's range. Let's see. So what are we doing? I think that's all we're going to do. We're going to leave this guy here. This still has shots, but that's smoked in, so it's totally pointless. Do we have... Did I lose my other gunship? Can someone remind me? I think I might have. Oh no, it went up to get... Yes. We remembered. Yay. It lost its ammo, and that meant there was something wrong with the when a gunship goes into conserving ammo status, that means there's something wrong with the gunship. It needs to go back to the parent HQ to fix. So that's what we did, but the parent HQ, and only the parent HQ will do that. Had to go back to the parent HQ to fix it. It is now fixed, so now we can send it back to the combat area, which I think will probably take another turn. Yeah, we'll get there next turn. So we can probably use that next turn to shoot, which is good. Then we have 2 gunships on station. And we're going to hope for the best. That's what we're going to do. Do we have any artillery left? We do. Now, this is risky. We're going to try and plow Nam Yen into the ground, but we are surrounding it. So if the artillery drifts, we're going to be having a bad day and take a lot of casualties. But for the greater good, we're going to do that anyways. So I am plotting my artillery there. We have a mortar. I'll just throw that mortar in there too. We don't have any smoke anymore, so it's all or nothing now. We're going to try and make the best of it. Oh yeah, one more thing regarding supply. Why would the artillery drift? Because that's how it works. It could be atmospheric issues, could be wrong ranging, it could be a plethora of different reasons. For sure. Just like an airstrike. Yeah, exactly. Atmospheric conditions can change how an artillery round moves through the air. When you stack a leader with a battalion HQ or regiment HQ, as long as they're the same level, for example, this is the 3rd Battalion, 3rd Marines leader for that particular HQ, it'll increase its supply range by 1. Nope, definitely. It's a huge change. And it will be like that in EF3, fair warning. You have to think the ability to control artillery in World War II was worse than it is now. So keep that in mind. Alright, let's save it. End the turn. Of course, that affects both players. As the decades progress, the likelihood of drift is significantly less. So in the 80s, when you're fighting, your drifting is going to be almost, maybe once every 10 shots or something. But now you're still drifting. East Front 3, drift up to 10 hexes. I think the maximum drift is 2. 2 hexes. But that'd be funny. So, we're doing some opportunity fire into this hex. I don't think that's... darn it, we got retreated. Let's just zoom in here so I can see what's going on. Van Tung, we took a loss, unfortunately, with this machine gun. Hopefully our destroyers will do what they need to do in here so we can assault successfully. And we hope that our disrupted units that are around this town will undisrupt. Whew, we didn't take any losses there, that's good. It's funny, except if you're the one needing it really badly, says Bottom of the Sixth. Yeah, no kidding. I think that is an experience that John is having in one of his current play-by emails, where his artillery... Oh, now you see, this sucks. I hate that. But the reality of Vietnam. My indirect fire got denied. Well, on the bright side, that landed where it wanted to. Look, that's a full company in there. At least, look at that. You see? Here we were complaining about drift, but none of it drifted. We got really lucky. It all hit the same spot. So that's awesome. Now, here's the crappy part. I've surrounded him. I can't tell if he's disrupted or not. He's in a very good position. All we can do is shoot at it and hope for the best and try and assault it. So we don't know if that had any effect. We'll bring in our gunship a little closer. That's a hog, so standoff is 2 hexes. And I'll remind you that you can see that by going into the unit list by pressing F2. This is the range, 6 hexes. The first one is pretty useless, probably just machine guns. And yeah, we get the good stuff here by 2 hexes away. So we're going to target from 2 hexes. And we're going to pick one of these, shoot at it, hope for the best, pull out, and let's go grab that other helicopter, because we need the support. Where is it? It's not there. There it is. So we're flying in the high zone, so every hex that I move is only costing me 1 action point, which is awesome. So now I'm close enough. I'm going to go back into 3D. I'm going to drop down. Now we're in low. We're going to get closer. Going to drop down again. Now we're flying nap at the earth. And I ran out of action points. Fire truck. That's terrible. So next turn, we'll fire. In the meantime, let's draw some fire with our machine guns. And we will do some assaulting. So he got disrupted, and we have a Marine platoon, a very understrength Marine platoon, I might add. We have a leader. We have the everyone is under strength except for this company over. Oh yeah, and part of it. So we are looking for flanking assaults and surrounded assaults, and we do that by selecting this half a squad and including that in an assault, and then from the other direction over here we'll include this into the assault, and then from over here we'll throw in the flamethrowers, this Marine platoon, and the leader. So that's 6, 7, 11, 12, 13 strength points. We could probably add some more troops in there, but here, I'm just going to draw something for you. So this is the assault, right? This is how we're doing the assault. We're using this unit, we're using one of these units, and we're using one of these units. And all of these at the same time are going to be assaulting. This is a proper surrounded assault. If I was to only assault from here, this is what you call a flanking assault. So, a flanking assault gives you a bonus. The full assault gives you a bigger bonus. And the regular assault is good, but you want to try a flanking assault or a full surrounded assault. Full surrounded will give you the best bang for the buck. Flanking will give you better bang for the, or not as good, but still good. And then a regular assault is just a regular assault. Does that make sense? So bottom of the 6th is asking, how can I tell what the strength is of this unit? So the way that the platoons are structured is that you'll see that this says it's a strength of 6th. If you can see up in the corner here, that means there's 3 squads. Each strength point is worth 1 squad, or half a squad, sorry. So in this case, this platoon has 3 squads. Down here, it says I have 1 strength point left, which means it's down. I've lost 2.5 squads from this platoon already. It's hanging on by its teeth. Logically, this would no longer be in action. It was decimated. It would be pulled out. But I need to do what I need to do to get my mission objectives. So we're throwing everyone in the kitchen sink into these battles. So I have my surrounded assault. I'm going to throw in a couple extra units just to see if I can actually make sure that I will get in. So here, this one here, this is a strength 2 out of 6, which means there's 1 squad left in the platoon. Does that make sense, bottom of the 6th? No. You don't want to... Bottom of the 6th is asking, would you need to make an escape path hex for the enemy to vacate the hex easier instead of having them no escape path? It depends on the situation. In this situation, I want to destroy them completely. I don't want to push them along and herd them into a different type of assault. They're in the position that I need. I need to get in there, and I want the points for destroying the company. So my priority is to wipe them out, and that's a good place to do it. I have them surrounded. We're hoping for the best here. So let's see. Let's see what happens. We are going to resolve the assault by pressing the resolve assault button. So we did cause some casualties, which is good. We did not successfully take out the unit, but we didn't take any casualties, and that's an important part. We will leave everyone where they are, except we will move some guys around. Just like that. Next turn, we'll do the same thing. We're going to plot our artillery. Hopefully it comes. We only have 1 destroyer this turn, and we can get in there next turn. That's our plan. Let's see how far this guy can move. Where are we going? We are going to this intersection, and then we'll head north. Yeah, that'll take like 3 or 4 turns to get up there. Oof, that's a lot. Okay, let's move. This company belongs to... So these 2 are together. So let's move them. Let's double time and see if we can get to Anlock. We can. Nice. So we got in there. We successfully captured that. That's perfect. And we will capture this. We'll continue going down the road and use this company to secure that other position. We'll just keep trucking. So you'll notice that I can't move. Let's try that in English. I can't move these 2 platoons to join this one. Why is that? Is because there's a limitation about the amount of units that you can move along a road in order to get that bonus, and that is 12 strength points. So this particular platoon has 6. This platoon has 6. That's 12. This machine gun means that it's 13. So I can't put them all in there. If I didn't care about using the road bonus and get attacked by some hidden Viet Cong, then I would stack everyone. Also keep in mind that if there's more than 12 strength points of units in a hex, I have a penalty for being overstacked. Leaders don't count. So if I had a leader in here, it wouldn't matter. It's still 12 strength points. But if I had that machine gun in there, that's an overstacked hex, and the attacker would gain a bonus. Instead, let's move this platoon around to capture these, because I don't think I'm going to get there in time with the others. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 turns to get down there. 3 turns, 4 turns, depending on how I move. Let's take these 2 platoons. We'll double time. We're going to go up along the paths here. We found some tunnels. Do I have engineers? Yes, I do. So we're going to, yeah, let's go in here. So what we're going to do, we're going to destroy these tunnels. And we're going to use the engineers to do that. So I'll show you how to do that. We don't know what's in here. There may be nothing in there, but hey, we're going to try anyways. Otherwise, we'll take these, this machine gun and this platoon here, or what's left of it. We'll take a cruise down here. It's pretty quiet. All right, Bantung 4. We don't know how this is going to go. Our flamethrower is still disrupted. We have our units, which are, they're doing okay. Since this is disrupted, we're just going to move it. So when it becomes undisrupted, we'll be able to participate in a proper assault all the way around, and hopefully that'll deal some a decisive blow to this particular hex. I don't know if I want to try and assault it now, or should I wait 1 more turn and use the destroyer? What do you think? I'll leave that up to you. Your decision. Do I assault now, or do I wait for a turn? Wait for a turn, Dolce says. All right. That's the idea. Let's do that. So we'll take our destroyer. We'll plot it there, and we'll assault next turn. I think let's move our other Marine platoon up. John's asking, will the enemy fire at civilians in your hex, causing loss of it? No, they won't. They won't fire at their own civilians. Well, the AI won't. There we go. That's it. So we will probably take losses here. Hopefully our op fire does something useful. So far we're not taking losses, which is good. We are firing back. It is a firefight. We are firing through a bocage though, so that's not very effective. And they're probably in a bunker, so everyone's shooting at everyone and not causing a lot of casualties. Notice that they're firing at my platoon and not the civilians. Speaking of civilians, they're meandering around still. There we go. Hopefully our artillery is having an effect there for our next assault. We'll do the same process as before. We'll use our support weapons, our helicopters, before we do the assault to try and give us the best odds possible. This is the best use of using the Americans. Use your heavy weapons, use your fire support. I would be using airstrikes, but I don't seem to have any at the moment. And I got denied. That's unfortunate. Alright. Shall we start here? Let's start here. We do have our M50, our M67 back, our flame-throwing tank. So let's add that to the assault. Let's throw in these Marines, and let's throw in these Marines. Basically, we're going to shove everything in there, because we really want to take this out. And let's not end the turn. Let's continue the assault. We didn't take it, but we did cause a disruption, so that's good. Can we assault again? We can with some of the units, but not with all of the units. So let's hold back. Let's hold back. Do we have our destroyers? I don't have aircraft. Yes. We'll use our destroyers one more time. Let's go up here. Let's keep on trucking with our Marine platoons. Let's double time this guy. Start. Oh no! Oh. Let's get... oh no! We got reduced by 2 because we hit an IED. Fire truck. That's terrible. Frustrating. Frustrating, let me tell you. We did find something here, though. Something underground. Oh, let's go up. So, we know there's something there. Something poked its head out. So there's a tunnel there. You can tell that it's underground because there's a U here. Notice there's no U for us. So we're above the ground, but he's underground, and we saw him. So we know we're going to take one of our engineer units, and we're going to destroy that. But, more importantly, we're going to go hunt down that guy. See if we can cause some casualties. So we'll bring our engineer over. We'll destroy these tunnels. And maybe get some points for doing that. There are units here. They're not doing anything, so let's shoot at them. Nice. Nice. Okay, let's go up here. Let's double time our unit. Double time, and then head over to the road. Get this guy going down. We'll drop in the back, grab our Marine taxi. Oh. So these infantry will get there before the other ones. So that was a waste of time doing that. Okay, now let's see what we can do here. So first things first, we're going to use our recordless rifles. Pick a target, shoot at it. Nope. So how bottom of the 6th is asking, currently that enemy is in the tunnel. Where can he resurface? Only in the same hex? And can he pop out of a hole in an adjacent hex, etc.? Let's go back to the tunnels. So, anywhere there's a tunnel, he can move underground. So if there was a tunnel system that went all the way over here, he could go underground all the way over there, underneath all of our troops, no matter what's there. We might not see him. Odds are good we won't see him to doing that, and he can pop out in any one of those tunnels. So if he's going to stay there, he could pop out there, or he could go to this tunnel, or if there's tunnels over here, he could go over there. There's no limit to how far he can go and where he can go, and as long as it's a tunnel, he can pop out of any one of them, which is scary. Really scary. Does that make sense? It costs action points. The same as moving on the ground. Above ground, it costs you action points. Below ground, it costs action points. as you saw in Boot Camp 2, it costs you action points for the tunnel rat to move within the tunnel. Usually I think it's 50 action points for the tunnel rat to move underground. It would be the same for the vehicle. It would cost them 50 or so action points per hex. So yeah, they could go anywhere there's a tunnel. It might cost them 50 action points. Yeah, for sure. The difference between using the tunnels and caves, for example, is that the caves, you are jumping from one point to another point as long as they're within the same distance. With tunnels, you're literally moving to where you want to go. And as long as there's a tunnel system, you can move anywhere. Yeah, you'll find how that works in Boot Camp 3. Bottom of the Six is asking. Said he hasn't done any boot camps yet. It looks like I need to do them. So yeah, with Boot Camp 3, what you'll see is that you're performing you'll learn how to use helicopters. And as well as that, as you're clearing the mountains, you will get a couple of tunnel rat units as reinforcements. And I explained in the boot camp how to use them. And tunnel rats are unique to the free world side, whereas they're one of the only ones that can go inside of tunnels. Most combat troops of the free world side cannot go into tunnels. They can destroy them from above, but they can't go in them, with the exception of special force units as well as the tunnel rats. Regular infantry platoons, no, they can't. So if you're designing a scenario that has a lot of tunnels, you'll have to include a tunnel rat if you want action in the tunnels themselves. Combat-wise, if I had a tunnel rat and it was in the same tunnel tunnel as these engineers, for example, if I would assault this hex or attempt to assault this hex, say I didn't know that there was something there and I attempted to assault it, I wouldn't be informed of what that is. And that's due to the nature of being in the tunnels. You don't see what the heck's going on. You're fighting in the dark. You're assaulting it. You're hoping for the best. You hope you live. Are you going to live every time? No, it depends on what you stumble upon. If you stumble upon a platoon or a few platoons, your tunnel rat is toast. Boot Camp 3 teaches you, because that's one of the rare cases where I'm really nice, and I gave you some supplies to hunt. So if you run into the supplies and you assault them, you'll more than likely be successful in that assault, and you'll gain some points for doing so. You will also come across a headquarters. That might be touch and go. Maybe you will win. Maybe you'll die doing it. Depends. It's luck of the draw. I've played that boot camp a few times, and sometimes I've lost my tunnel rat trying to take out the headquarters that's there. I know it's a headquarters, but the player wouldn't know that it's a headquarters. It just, something in there killed it. So you would have to send in another tunnel rat. Fortunately, you do get two in that scenario. Or just ignore it altogether. You do get points, which helps you win the scenario if you do take it out, though. Sorry, that was a tangent. Back to the fighting. Does that make sense, though? Did I explain that okay? Yes? Okay. Thank you, John. What are we doing? Gunships. This is low on fuel. Again, it has... Can two rats be down in the same hole at the same time? Yes, they can. Nope, they totally can. Yep. You can have... It's... What is it? A maximum of 6 units underground at the same time? Or 12 SPs, but tunnel rats are only 1 strength point because they're very, very small units, in theory. Keeping in mind that these hexes are 250 meters across. It's not one literal tunnel rat that's going in the tunnels. It's like, a few guys type of a thing. That's the idea behind it. That's what we're trying to represent. Just as 1 strength point is for a platoon represents half a squad. So it's 4 to 6, or depending on which army, it could be a number of different numbers, but typically 4 to 6 men. But for vehicles like this means that there are 2 gunships operating in this platoon, or in this flight, or there's 1 vehicle left here out of that platoon, or there's 2 vehicles here, 3 vehicles here, as you can identify by the numbers. The same goes for heavy weapons. Where's our mortars, for example? So this mortar platoons means that there are 4 mortars in this platoon, in this particular platoon. That will vary depending on the decade. That will vary depending on the order of battle structure of the particular unit at any given time. That varies a lot, but I've really tried to go through the order of battles to make them as accurate as I could, depending on what information I could find. Okay, back to helicopters. This is low on fuel. You can tell by it has changed from green to orange. If it gets to red, it's in critical. You might lose that helicopter, depending on how far away it is to a supply unit. Right now, it has 3 turns left to get back to a supply unit. Fortunately, I'm going to zoom out. We have a headquarters. Any headquarters in a landing zone will refuel a helicopter. That's good to know. But as I mentioned before, if this was low on ammo, it would have to go find its parent headquarters to fix it. But refueling, we can do that here. So that's only a handful of hexes away. We can risk being here a little bit longer and providing the support that we have to in order to take this out. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to select the unit, shoot at it, and then we're going to pull it back. This is also right now, it is good. It'll be fine for the rest of the scenario. There's only 4 turns left. It has green fuel, and it's flying nap of the earth right now, which is where we want it to be, and it's going to fire into this hex. So that's all of our support weapons that we have. Now it's up to the grunts on the ground to get her done. So we'll use the same principle as before. We're going to do a complete surrounding assault, and we're going to throw in both of these platoons. We're going to throw in our flamethrowers because they have a super high assault value. We're going to throw in our battalion HQ, and let's throw in the engineer as well. Yeah, you could do multiple assaults. I don't have the troops to do multiple assaults, so I have to whittle this down turn by turn. My strength points versus his strength points, my estimating what his strength points are and the position that he's in, means that I need to use as much force as I can in a single assault as I can until I feel that he's whittled down where I can start doing multiple assaults. I don't feel comfortable doing multiple assaults yet because as far as I'm concerned, that's at least 50% plus strength VC company in that village. I'm concerned about it, and I'm trying to do my best to take it, at least whittle it down. It might take another turn, it might take 2 turns, but because of my situation, if these were all full strength platoons, then yeah, I would do multiple assaults from multiple directions. But now, no, because most of my platoons have been decimated in the previous fighting. Bottom of the 6th is asking, are there any scenarios that have fire bases that you may have to retreat from or escape from? If so, is this possible to spike the tubes to prevent the enemy from using them? Or can the enemy not use... No, the enemy cannot use the captured weapons. They can destroy them. They can, quote-unquote, capture them for points, but they can't use them. No, not at all. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't set up a scenario where they can, and you would do that by having the captured the battery coming on as a reinforcement with an event that says, okay, if this American battery was captured, or French battery or whatever, then after X amount of turns, the Viet Minh version or Viet Cong version or NVA version of that particular gun would be a reinforcements coming on the map. And then, in that case, they would be able to use it. Now, the bad day. Let's see if we can take this. We're going to resolve this assault. Remember, I explained before, I'm using a proper surrounding assault, attacking from 3 different directions, and using... So, being just surrounding is not good enough. You have to... It's good for isolating them, for sure, but you need to assault from the 3 different directions in order to have that proper assault. If I was only going to assault from these 2 directions, you still get a bonus. It's not as big as bonus if you were doing it from all 3 directions. So this is a flanking assault using these 2 hexes, or these 2 hexes, or whatever. But all 3 is a surround assault, where you're going to get the maximum bang for your buck. Will that work here? I doubt it. Oh! So we didn't take it, but we reduced it. So we're wearing them down. That's what we want to see. That's a good thing. Now, I will try, just because John was curious, another assault and see what happens. But this is only going to be a flanking assault, so I'm not going to get the best bang for the buck, but I'm going to try anyways. Let's see what happens. No, I picked too many. I was greedy. I picked too many stuff, so let's try that again. So let's throw in my leader, throw in the flamethrowers, throw in the engineers. Okay, so second attempt. The first one failed. Let's try again. Oh, look at that! And we didn't take any loss. Yeah, so the notification, I don't know if you saw that. It was pretty quick. The notification said that after that second assault, the morale had dropped, and therefore the units were captured. Yeah, so because they had taken losses during that first assault, I suspect that the other 2 platoons were, there were 3 platoons in there. The other 2 platoons saw their 3rd platoon get decimated. Morale issues were happening. There you go. See, it pays to listen to John sometimes. That's good. Thank you, John. You did good. You did good. And we got lucky there. That was awesome. That made my day. That made my whole day. And we have 4 turns left. We have now successfully captured all of Nam Yen. All 5 of the village parts of Nam Yen. And if you recall correctly, Nam Yen was one of our primary targets. Van Tung is the other one, which we're still trying to deal with. Okay, I think that's good. Let's just get our troops down here, get some more support in case we need it. And then next turn we'll see about capturing the rest of Van Tung. Or Tuong, or I don't know how you say that. Maybe someone can correct me because I'm terrible. Okay. Actually, we can move our helicopter down here to the landing zone and land it. So next turn, this gunship will have some fuel. This gunship will bring over to Van Tung for next turn, so we can start taking that out. Ho, 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 ho. Excellent. All right, John, what do you think? Am I on the right track here, or what? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Do you have any suggestions for improvements? Oh, you know what? We have this Howtar up here. Let's throw some artillery in there, because those are full-strength platoons, almost. One's a sapper platoon, which means that has a high assault value, which means I'm worried about my engineers all of a sudden. Oh, fire truck. Okay. There we go. We did good that turn. We did really good. I'm happy. Alright. So we're being shot at. Where are we being shot at from? Up here. So there's more tunnels. Our machine gun is shooting back. Yeah, this is what we're worried about here. We need to make sure that our platoons don't get disrupted so we can use them for the assault next turn. So that's a bunker. If they're firing there, that's fine. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. So, here's a lesson. You're not... Reinforcements have arrived. Yeah, okay. So... oh, no. The indirect fire at Van Tung got denied. So we have to assault without the artillery support from the destroyers. This is not good. These platoons have decided to come back and attack this position. Let's surround them and do some fun. Oh, there's a big tunnel complex up here. Okay, so let's see if we can cause some casualties. Oh, our retreat is good. We did reduce it by 1. We'll use these. Now they're sitting in open terrain and we have the higher ground. Hopefully we can continue causing casualties against these VC forces. We did not. Let's do it again. We did. We reduced it by 2. So we reduced it by a squad, basically. This Marine platoon. Let's hit the sappers. You can tell they're sappers because they have a ladder. And in the target mode, they're red. Okay. So there. Let's take one of these engineers. I need 100 strength points to destroy that tunnel. We are going to try. And we're going to do that by selecting it, making sure it has 100 action points. And we're going to damage the wall, bridge, or tunnel. This is a tunnel. We're going to do that. And we destroy the tunnel by selecting none of the directions, but in the center. Look at that. For destroying the VC Regimental HQ, we have gained 25 event points. That is awesome. Oh, and we destroyed a commander. For destroying the VC Commander 2, the USI gains 35 event points. And our damage was successful. That is amazing. So, as you can see, the tunnels are now removed. We destroyed what was ever inside of them. And, yeah, we will continue doing that with our engineers up here. Yes, winner chicken dinner. Isn't that the truth? That is huge. That is a happy surprise. It's funny, you know, I designed the scenario and I totally forgot about that. That is hilarious. Okay. Let's get our troops back. Oh, right, we forgot that there was something there because it destroyed something. One of them is disrupted. We lost half a squad. No effect. I'm okay with that. So there's still a company up here. Man, so many VC. So we'll exchange fire. We're not in a very good position here. We're sitting on the road in rice paddies. They're obviously in a better position. We will have to deal with that. Let's move our infantry platoon down. See if we can capture that. Yes. Bring in the machine guns for support. So, we only have 2 objectives left in order to to finish this scenario. We have 3 turns left to do it. We really need this, so we're going to start our assault. We're going to throw everything in, except for the machine guns, because they have a really terrible assault value of 2. They're better for defensive, so no sense throwing them in. We do have our gunships here. Let's use their firepower and pick on one of the rifle platoons. That's a mortar, so let's pick the second one. I don't know if we did anything, but at least we tried, since our artillery didn't want to make an appearance. Let's stop adding units in case we don't need them. Okay, so here we are. We're going to assault it. We did cause casualties by the looks of it, but we were not able to take it. So let's try. We do have enough action points to try again. Let's try one more time. What do you think, John? One more time? John's asking, so when a unit retreats into a hex with other enemy units, is it at the top of the hex by the list? Yeah, typically. The same as when you move a unit into a new hex. Like, for example, these machine guns are on top because they were the last ones that came into the hex. There we go, assaulting. Oh, yay! That's awesome. Look at that. We're doing fan-frickin-tastic. That's what we're doing. Fantastic. So, notice I took that infantry platoon, or what's left of it, and loaded it onto the tanks. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these flamethrower tanks and rush up here and hopefully capture that location. We will continue meandering up. Oh, there's a frickin' sniper in that pagoda. Better go out and get some. Hey, I do have a ticket for tonight's draw here in British Columbia. See if I win something. Positive vibes, positive vibes. We'll put that machine gun in that area, and let's bring up our gunships. Oh, maybe that was too close. Oh no. Let's pull back. Let's pull back 1 hex. Oh no, there's a. Let's pull back out into the water. And let's grab our other gunship. Pull it up to high. Bring it on up. And then next turn we'll do an Apocalypse Now scenario-ish. That's right, bottom of the 6th. If I win, just remember who was with me on this stream. That is right. The good luck charms. The good luck charms. Okay, so next turn, if my guys survive, we should be able to start pummeling these guys with our gunships. Oh, we have destroyers. Let's do that. Let's start prepping the area. And down here, I think everything is hunky-dory. We have nothing else to do. We could try moving the vehicles up, but by the time they get there, they won't be in any action, so there's no sense doing that. Yeah, there's only a few turns left. Let's just leave it as it is and go. Oh, we do have to worry about this though. So let's plot our Howtar out here and our artillery support and really do what we can to protect that Anlock position. Just in case they decide to flank us. So we've totally surrounded this hex. We're assuming they're not going to be able to assault us next turn. They're just going to be in a position which will help us surround and defeat them. That's the idea. That's the idea. Okay, let's end the turn. Save. Enter. Oh, we have our reinforcements. That's right. So, we could go get them. Let's do that. So we've taken off. We're going to fly out here. And grab them next. We don't even need them anymore. At all. Because we've pretty much completed the mission. Which is good. Damn civilians. But we can put our mortar in there. Alright. There we go. Oh, we found a sniper. Well, it's a good thing those are trenches. Oh, thanks for joining, Lancer. Actually, there's still there's a few turns left here, and what I'll do for the remainder of the second hour, which is about 45 minutes left, is start up the next scenario. And the next scenario is going to be the street without joy. There is currently not a BAT-21 scenario. Bottom of the 6th is asking, can Helos develop mechanical failure in flight? No, that's out of the scope of the game. The only mechanical failure you're going to have is with the gunships, where they need to... do you prefer... 5-0 is saying, do you prefer a heavy or a light surfboard? Yeah. Heavy, all the way. That's awesome. And welcome, 5-0. Nice to see that you're joining us. Looks like our artillery is hitting where it needs to. That's good. So we must have disrupted them because they didn't move anywhere. Usually, if they would have jockeyed for position for an assault, which works in our benefit. Since we're here, we're going to use our engineer, and we're going to try and destroy this tunnel. We're going to do so by units, damage wall, bridge, or tunnel, and we're going to press the no for just within the hex. And oh, look at that! We destroyed a battalion headquarters and gained 25 event points. And we destroyed the commander and gained 35 event points. That is amazing. And you can see we have destroyed the tunnel system. We just gained some more points for destroying some hidden tunnels. Oh no, our engineers! Well, they survived. That's good. Let's draw some fire with that machine gun. They must be dug in or something. So we destroyed 2 headquarters. That's awesome. Lanzer is saying, picked up this first day release, working through the boot camp scenarios, like the game, but I do like Middle East as well. Can't wait for the update for that. Yeah, that will be coming probably the end of the year, because I do have to script all the scenarios that are included in that game. That does take a while, plus the testing, of course. Yeah, but yeah, the engine is good to go. We just have to do all the brunt work. Bottom of the 6th is saying, or John asked, did I miss anything? Had to go to the little boy's room, sorry. And bottom of the 6th said, you just missed it. Jason bought us all pizza. Yeah, no kidding. Oh, look at that. Our artillery was effective, and it really did a number on them. They're down to half a squad each. So let's see if we can destroy them. Which we did. They are returning fire, and we'll let them and destroy them, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Nope. No. And we do have one more platoon that has some shots. There we go. We destroyed that threat. Now we'll deal with this. We'll bring these guys a little closer. And we'll see if we can assault that position next turn. We don't know. We know there's a platoon there. We don't know the size of the platoon. It's still hidden. We do see that sniper now. And we do see... Yeah, that's it. That's it. So, do we have anyone that's... So everyone is not disrupted. That's good. We have these to deal with. Do I worry about the point, or do I worry about the sniper? What do you think? Decisions, decisions. Up to you, totally. Do I deal with a sniper, or do I deal with the Fuck Thwan? I don't know how you say that. Sounds good. Or Twan? Is it Twan? I don't know how you say that. Do I deal with this, or do I deal with this? Coming from the south. Snipers. Deal with the snipers. Alright, let's get a little closer with Big Red. That's a good sniper. Good sniper is a sniper that misses. Can I use gunships on the snipers? Yeah, I totally can. So remember, these are hogs. I have to stand off from a couple of hexes. And I'm going to drop down to Nap of the Earth. And let's do some firing. See if we can take them out. Nope, we could not. Let's try the other ones. And we are already flying at Nap of the Earth. And we're firing. And we missed. That's okay. Let's get in a position where we can cross and surround. If we can get there, fingers crossed. Okay, so we're in a position where we can at least do a flanking assault next turn. I'm going to throw a couple of shots in there. Yeah, I don't know. Let's prep it with some artillery. Let's use our destroyer support. Throw all the destroyers there. And let's pull back our gunships because we don't want them shot down. Let's go take a meander around. That's okay. Nothing around. Our rear is fine. This is secure. We don't need to deal with that anymore. Yeah, I think everything is good. Let's see if we can get our tank a heck of a lot closer. So next turn, we'll be able to do hop in this hex, unload, try and assault, and see if that works. There's that position there. We do have some more artillery. Let's see if we can use that. If it yeah, it does reach. That's good. That is secure. That is secure. Next turn, we'll see about destroying those tunnels. Yeah, I think that's it for this. Oh. Yeah, next turn we'll try an assault. I don't think I can. I don't have enough action points to assault this turn. No, insufficient action points. Yeah, so I may take a loss or two because I'm right next to him, but what do you do? Let's move up here, actually, so he doesn't have the above ground or higher elevation bonus. He doesn't need any more bonuses. Oh, you know what? Let's unload that right now. Because if he happened to shoot at that tank, he could destroy that entire, what's left of that Marine platoon. Because they're just hanging on to the top of it. Okay, end turn. Oh wait, cancel. Cancel. Let's take our helicopters, drop down, grab a platoon, and lift off again. We'll do the same with this one. So notice that this hex here is a transport hex. It has a transport in it, but it also has a landing zone, which means I can kind of quote-unquote land on that transport and pick up these units. Alternatively, I could do the same thing with the boats, but the boats would never get to shore by the time we're done here. So let's land, and we will pick up another platoon and take off. And we'll drop down, pick up a machine gun, take off. I can move this into here, grab that. This is totally pointless. At this point, there's no point to do it. But just to show you. So now that landing zone is clear, we're going to bring out some more units, and they'll be there for next turn. So I can fly in and out if I want. Again, at this point of the battle, there's no point bringing them on, but so be it. And end the turn. Oh, that sniper there. That for engineer. Yes, we expected that. Civilians moving around, that's fine. More civilians moving around. So for occupying all of Navien for 3 turns, we gain 200 points. That's good. And reinforcements, more reinforcements. Destroyer hit the target finally, twice. 3 times. Didn't get denied, yay. Artillery hit the target. Hit the target. Excellent. Okay, so that's good news. Let's take a look at this. See what we can do here. Let's bring in 1 gunship. Get shot at. Hopefully don't lose it. Oh, it got disrupted. Fire truck. Too bad. I'm going to shoot it anyways. Oof. That's brave. So let's try and assault that hex and see what happens. So you have to be careful with assaulting a hex with a civilian in it, because they will participate by, you know, it's terrible. You don't want to be doing that. They will be casualties. If, you know, for example, I assaulted that, I don't know if I caused them casualties. And I don't think the strength will tell me if I did or not. Yeah, I did. So I caused some casualties. It's not light arms, it's not any other type of unit. It might be a leader. That might be what that is. Or it might be a civilian. I don't know. Anyways. That's a risk you have to do. Do you assault it with civilians in there or not? I shouldn't have, but I did anyways. We are going to... Okay, why can't I assault? I don't have enough action points. So that means there's probably a trench there or something. But I can with that, and I probably can with this. Yes. And the full strength platoon I can. Yes. So this is a flanking assault because I'm attacking from these 2 directions. They can retreat into this direction because that is wide open, obviously. But we'll see what happens. Let's bring in our gunship. Oh, there's supplies there. Look at that. We want to take those out. Do we target the supplies, or do we target that with the gunship? Suggestions? Leaving it for you. Do we target the supplies with the gunship, or do we target this with the gunship? What do you think? Target the objective. Alright, let's target the objective. So let's get a little closer. We're Napa the Earth. We're going to shoot at the objective. So hopefully we caused that objective some casualties. That platoon, I think it's just a regular VC platoon. So let's try our assault and see what happens. We did cause some casualties, but we didn't take it out. So we will probably have to wait until next turn. Yeah, we don't have enough action points to do anything else. That's okay. That's good. So next turn we can... Ooh, next turn is the last turn. Ho, 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 ho. Let's take a look. Let's shoot at these VC here. Draw their fire. Okay, let's see if there's anything in this tunnel. We'll destroy it. Destroy? So I tried, but I failed. So notice that the tunnel is still there. I will have to try again next turn. And it costs 100 action points every attempt. In the meantime, let's do an assault with these guys. So this is just a straight-on assault. There's no bonuses. I'm just assaulting to assault. They are both conserving ammo. One is a significantly reduced Marine platoon. The other one is not too bad. I don't think we'll be successful, but we'll try anyways. And we were not successful, and it doesn't look like we caused any casualties. So we will just try it again next turn. Do we have any artillery to blast the objective before the next turn assaults? Well, let's see if we have any left. We have some artillery. All of our destroyers are out of ammo, unfortunately. We have that gun in range. That gun is out of range. This is in range. That is in range. And these are out of range. So that's all I got. Let's see if that other gun is in this range. Yes. Okay. Let's pull back our gunship because it got disrupted. We really want to take these positions. Because that supply point, if I take that supply point, that'll give me some extra points. And any points are good points. We do have that sniper down in here. Let's see if I can get closer to it and not die. It's in this hex. Notice I'm shooting that I can't see it, but I'm going to shoot at it anyway. Ah, there we go. We drew its fire. That sounds like an RPG. So there's probably a sniper and an RPG in that hex. We're just going to fire at that hex. Fortunately, we have these defensive positions already. So the VC had these positions prepared. We took them from behind. That's a victory for us. Okay. No sense moving the rest of this stuff. It's out of action now. We have our machine gun. Let's target that sniper. Hopefully these civilians will move out of that hex next turn. Show the VP total. I don't want to see it yet. I'm kind of nervous. I don't... We're a turn away from figuring out if we won or lost, and yeah, we'll see that next turn. I don't play for the totals. I play for the enjoyment. But yeah, we'll see the total shortly. We're almost there. More reinforcements. We don't really care about the reinforcements because we're well beyond needing them. But here they are on the map. Unloading. And unloading. So you notice what I did there is I dropped that first helicopter, put it on the ground, unloaded it, and then put it back in the sky so I can overstack the hex because, you know, air units are... Each level has their own amount of helicopter or units, SP maximums that has, right? So that's a handy tool. Now I can move them all out. And then I can drop that helicopter back so it's on the ground and getting refueled. If it's in the sky, it doesn't get refueled, obviously. Someone is calling me a chicken. Yes, I am a chicken. You're welcome. Here I am fighting a war as a chicken. That RPG hitting our machine guns. That VC platoon. Oh, okay, no effect. They were shooting the tank, which is fine. It returned fire. I doubt we'd get anything. The civilians are moving around. For occupying the northern villages for 3 turns, we gained 100 points. That's nice. And Van Tung for 3 turns, we gained another 100 points. That's awesome. And we have additional reinforcements arriving. So that's a full battalion worth of reinforcements that that arrived after the fact. Are they out of line of sight? Did we lose sight of them? Oh, that's kind of scary. Did we lose sight of them? Or did they run away? Did we destroy them? I am curious. Ah, we destroyed them with the artillery. Perfect. Okay, last turn. Can I assault? I don't have enough action points. Son of a Gucci. So all we can do is fire at that supplies. That's all we can do. Because we can't assault it. We don't have enough action points. And if it's in a bunker, we're not going to get it. Oh, we got one. Now let's use our gunships. Let's get a little closer and fire. And let's do the same. And okay, that's literally all we can do. They didn't move, so we can't assault that civilian position again. So all we can do is shoot at it, at the sniper, and get shot at. Let's shoot back. Okay, so it's dug in there pretty well. It's a tough thing to get out. So if the snipers or the civilians are in there, we're just never going to get in there. Not without causing a lot of casualties. Let's see about destroying these tunnels. Maybe we'll get lucky again. Nope, we didn't get lucky there. We failed again. And it drew fire. Fortunately, we didn't take any losses that time. Let's use these ones. And that also fails. So we got really lucky with those first 2 hits. Hey, I'm okay with that. Let's shoot at that position. And then let's assault. Again, it's a direct assault. Our odds are not in our favor, typically. And as shown there, they were not in our favor. Okay. There we go. Now, the moment of truth. The result. Let's see what happens. More reinforcements. Shoot back and get some last kills. That'd be nice. Not for us, though. Come on. Be nice. Time limit has reached. And we got a minor victory. And that is completely logical because I completely decimated my Marines. Absolutely decimated my Marines. And I didn't capture the final targets. Didn't complete the whole mission. So, I didn't do too bad. Not too bad at all. And by the looks of it, I just squeaked a minor victory, but I'm not complaining. Minor victory is still a minor victory, right? So, would I do that differently? Yes, I probably would. What would I do differently? I would really focus heavily on Nam Yen and get that dealt with as quickly as possible. I was gaining points for selecting or collecting these other outlying villages, so I would probably send out some small teams to go out deal with those sooner. I would try and capture this sooner, and maybe leave the final battle for this area here, if possible. It is a challenging scenario because you only have the landing zones here in this particular area, which is historical. That's where the landing zones were. So you have to push out in this direction. And of course, you're going to get bogged down in Nam Yen, where historically that's where a lot of the action was happening, especially Hill 43. If you watched the first sessions that I've been through, you saw that this was a tough fight, and I took a lot of losses there. Hence my terrible showing here, right? Well, there we go. That was fun. That was a good scenario. Bottom of the 6th is asking, can the scenarios even run longer than advertised, or do they always stop when they are scheduled to? Currently, they are stopping at the turn limit. It is a wish list item to have it so that the end of the turn is more randomized, but presently it is what it is. You have whatever the turn limit says. Ideally, I'd like to be able to have that change, but not quite yet. We probably won't do a lot of playing of this one, but let's start going over the next scenario. That's going to be the Wednesday sessions, and that's going to be this one. Street Without Joy. Operation Carmague. I don't know how you say that, but that sounded good. Let's read the briefing here, or the description. Annam was the central coast region of Indochina, and snaking along the coast was Colonial Route 1, which was the primary logistical route between Tonkin in the north and Cochinchina in the south. Communications and convoys along these lines suffered from regular attacks by Viet Minh irregulars that had used a series of fortified villages dispersed along the sand dunes and salt marshes between Quan Tri and Hue. The ambushes were so frequent that the soldiers would christen the stretch of road between Quan Tri and Hue as La Rue Saint-Joy, or Joy, I don't know, the Street Without Joy. The French had attempted to clear the area in 1952 during Operation Starlite, but met with little success. With the winding down of the Korean War in the summer of 1953, the French were able to collect sufficient forces to try again. Under the guise of Operation Carmague, named after the sandy marshland west of Marseille in France, the forces gathered would result in one of the largest operations that the French conducted during the war. The French and Vietnamese forces were divided into 4 groupement task forces, consisting of 30 battalions, 2 armored regiments, and a battalion of artillery, and battalions of artillery. 2 of the groupement would land by sea, using the amphibious M29 Crab and LVT-4 Alligators, supported by landing craft. The other 2 groupement would attack from Route 1 with the intention of surrounding the area before tightening the bocage to rein in the Viet Minh. There were also 2 paratroop battalions held in reserve. It was a race against the clock to secure the bocage before nightfall. Otherwise, the Viet Minh 95th Regiment, and most importantly, the unassuming black-clad communist cadre, could slip through into the hills and west of Colonial Route 1. I'm so excited to play this. Let's take a look. So we'll start this next Wednesday, but today, for the next 15 minutes or so, let's take a look and see what some plans are. So obviously, computer with fog of war, because that's the best way to play this game. And these are the default optional rules. I play with whatever the scenario is suggested, and that is typically how the default is setting. Variable visibility, no, typically no, but everything else, yes. And let's load her up. And let's read the briefing. As mentioned many times before, the briefing is exceptionally important. The Battle of Van Trin. This is currently playtested, or best played as Side A, unless being... I did choose Side A, yeah, okay. Unless being played head-to-head, please restart the scenario as Side A. So we did, we're all good. I might have to change that, so that'll be updated in 101 because we are playing Side A. We are about to undertake the largest operation in Indochina, conducting a large sweeping operation east of Colonial Route 1 to the coast. The friendly forces, we have 4 groupements consisting of air, land, and sea elements that are in position encircling the target area. The Viet Minh Regiment 95 is reported to be operating in the area. The primary mission is to destroy the Viet Minh Regiment, reported to be in the area. It is important to do so before nightfall, otherwise they will escape into the night. So here's a time limit. Basically, we have the day turns in order to accomplish this mission. If night comes, we can consider it either a success or a failure, depending on if we did what we were told. The secondary mission is to sweep through the entire area and secure the villages and routes so the Viet Minh no longer have anywhere to hide. Okay, that makes sense. Use your 4 group mobiles to encircle the area, securing main supply routes as you move into the combat area. Once the area is encircled, clear each of the primary villages, followed by the smaller ones. There are no political considerations. The supply levels are high at the beginning of the scenarios, but expect them to taper off as the operation proceeds. Weather will most likely be clear, visibility increasing as the operation proceeds. Night will come at turn 41. So we have to have that regiment destroyed by turn 41. Otherwise, we don't win. So, press OK. Let's take a look. Let's zoom out. All the way out. So that is all the way out, but it's a huge map. Let's take a look at the jump map. As you can see, this is a very large map. But, large map, few units. Looks like it's small. Most of these groupments are pretty small in size. But the advantage of playing this one is that it has a whole bunch of cool toys in it. There's some armored vehicles, there's some half-tracks, there's some light tanks, there's a whack load of artillery of varying calibers. We have trucks, we have supply trucks, we have the naval forces, we have destroyers, we have transports, we have the crabs, we have the LTV-4s, and we have riverine units. We have the Descent, if I recall correctly, if that's what they're called. Yeah, so we have a whole bunch of toys to play with in this scenario, and that is exciting. We have paratroopers, we have regular Vietnamese troops that have, that are pro-French. Just great. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic. What are we going to do? This is a monster map. So all this down here, let's highlight. Let's highlight fixed. What can we move straight away? So we can move some of this. Some of these units are available to move. A lot of them are not. A lot of them are fixed already. So our limits are going to be using this parachute company, or nope, not even parachute, North African company, to go along and secure these objectives. When I see we have some engineers, so we might use those engineers to start finding a road, start clearing a path along the road to ensure that we have, some main supply routes to go in deeper into this beach area. Look at that. There's so many dunes. It's crazy. And then marshes. Let's take a look when it's going to be daylight. We can do that under the scenario information. So for the first 7 turns, it's going to be night. And then turns 8 to 40, it's going to be day. And then the last handful of turns, it's going to be night again. As you can see, the visibility will start improving around turn 7 and be half decent out to almost 1.5 kilometers, almost 1.75 kilometers for a good portion of the day, and then it'll reduce down to 1 again during the nighttime. If you forget what the briefing said, you can read, or the scenario information, you can read that here. And if you forget what the scenario briefing was, you can read that here. Super handy tool. Okay, let's take a look again back at our units, see what we have available. All these are not fixed, so we can move these. So we can take these and start getting on the beach, securing this peninsula, and work our way inland, or maybe even cut across and secure these areas. Obviously, we don't know what the dispositions is of the Viet Minh Regiment. They could be anywhere. This is going to be a lot of cat and mouse. I would assume, yeah, it's a huge area for one regiment. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of them until we find their nest. And where their nests are, who knows? Who knows? That's what we're here for. We're going to try and find it. This grouping, the only thing that are fixed are the ships. That's fine. That makes sense. And we have a whack load of... Oh, we have some Foreign Legion. How fun is that? Notice that the strength is only 4, which means that these platoons only had 2 squads. And that was standard for the French, but that gave them 4 platoons split up into 2 squads each, plus heavy weapons. Something we can consider for sure. What else do we have? What else do we have back here? All these Vietnamese National Army, they are all fixed. That's fine. We have part of our groupements here. They are not fixed, so we can use these. We'll have to decide the best course of action for them. They are road-bound, typically, so we'll have to look for the roads and to make the best use of their movement to try and capture as much as we can. Let's take a look. We see that there's a road here in the north. We'll utilize that. There's another road on the south side of this river. We'll try and utilize that as well. This will be a main supply route for sure. So one of our priority tasks is going to take and secure this entire road all the way to the beaches, so we can link up with the waterborne forces, the sea forces. Is there another major road that cuts through? I see there's something here. What's this? There's another paved road there. Okay. And that takes us to Route 602. So there's another road that takes us to the beaches. So there's a couple of routes that we can take and secure to help. Keep in mind, there's a whack load of areas that are not going to be good for vehicles. So we have to decide how we're going to split up our units and access. Incorrect. Bottom of the 6th is saying incorrect intel occurred a lot in Nam. Is this modeled in any way in the game? Are the in-game briefings always 100% accurate? No, they're not. I deliberately have done that. The in-game briefings are giving you things that you need to do in order to complete the mission. I may tell you that there is a certain size unit within the area, but it could be double the size. It could be a completely different unit. It could be triple the size, or who knows. You don't know until you start fighting. And that's accurate. Absolutely accurate. Even the mission, for example, there are some missions where you'll have a turn 1 briefing where you'll be instructed to do something. Hep-Hua is a good example of that. Good night, Lanzer. Thanks for joining. Come back next week and watch me lose at this scenario. Anyways, that particular scenario gives you a briefing where you are supposed to go out and do some ambushing. That's the original purpose of that scenario. But as the scenario progresses, a new briefing will come up because the situation has drastically changed, and therefore you need to follow the new briefing. Or in the A Week In series, you'll get a new briefing every day, what your battalions are supposed to do for that day, for example, based on the intelligence that's happening at that time. So yeah, back to this. It's a large map. We don't have. It looks like we don't have a lot of units, because we don't, to cover everything. And this is part of the problem that the French had, is trying to cover a lot of area with not enough units. That is also what happened with the Americans, trying to cover a lot of area with not a lot of units. We will do precisely what we can do to at least make our lives easier, try and reduce our losses, but still, it's said to secure everything, so we have to secure everything. It's a matter of how we're going to break down our forces to do so. Obviously, we have our mobile troops. We'll try and keep those near the roads. We don't have a lot of armored tracked vehicles, so we are really, really heavily dependent upon the roads. With the paddies, they are wet, which means driving through them is going to be impossible unless they're on a track, but that's going to slow us down to 1 or 2 hexes per turn. Therefore, we want to keep the mobile units on these proper roads, but knowing the VC, that won't be an easy task. We will have to bring up our engineers, assuming we have engineers, and do our best to keep the roads clear. Follow on, we'll use if the Vietnamese National Army units become available, we'll use them to clear off the outside areas that are off the road. Or, for example, in these swampy beach areas. Yeah, it'll be surround, do what we can, start setting up some, proper bases, in the sense that where we're going to put our artillery, where we're going to put our headquarters for maximum supply in this massive area, and try and link up with these seaborne forces. That's the plan. That's the plan. Of course, as we all know, plans can change as soon as we come in contact with the Viet Minh forces. But there's going to be a lot to do. My playing style is I typically play relatively quickly, so if you need me to slow down, tell me that. I've been playing this game for eons. I have a certain way of doing things, and sometimes it's too fast. So if you need me to slow down, tell me so. I'm going to save this, and we are going to save this as Street Without Joy. And next week, on Wednesday, we'll start and see what we come across. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, you can go to the Matrix forum, ask me there, or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can leave a comment below. I'm always happy to answer. Take care, good luck, smile always.